Good day and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a bit different. It's another DIY. It's going to be led by my wife actually. It's her car. She's a car girl, so she's going to be doing the rear brakes on her '08 Subaru WRX. She's currently just grabbing the rest of the tools that she needs to get the job done. Or at least that we think we need.
Hey, it's Julia from the Spunky Sheep. I am changing my rear brake pads. We had to take my Subaru to the dealership to get an alignment after what we believe and are hoping is a bad alignment from a local mechanic shop. So while I was there getting new wheels and alignment, which crazy enough was actually same price at Subaru as it was the local mechanic shop, they said I needed rear brake pads. So, and David typically uses, they're two different tuner lugs. This is typically to help reduce chances of theft of your wheels or rims. So we have on mine 4 of more of a standard and 1 of a locking. There, I broke it loose. So, for my just WRX Impreza, it is a 14 millimeter for the bolts. Oh, we didn't get a C-clamp. So apparently I was moving slightly faster than the cameraman, but the reason why the dealership asked me to replace them is here's the new, here's the old. Old, new. There is one slightly, oh, I can't show that bit. Concerning bit on the rear side where the piston hits the brake pads. There is actually a divot into the back of the brake pads, which is more than likely because of how low they were and not anything to be horribly concerned about. But also, if you have to replace the clips, which I am just because they're a little rusted and old, so you just grab the bottom part and you just kind of lift up. They snap out really easy, and then putting it back in, it's going to be snug. Some angles I can snap it in with my fingers, some angles I can't. Okay, so they're snug because there's some corrosion on there. Brake dust buildup and rusted stuff over time. I think you just, okay, so it comes with a little grease pack, just a little bit. They used to say in first grade, a little dab of Julia will do ya. And the little tabs here. So you do not want this on the back where the piston goes or the actual brake surface. Please do not do that. So what this does is it helps with gliding with the clips. And helps with sliding in and out as you reach the brakes.
Put the bottom one in first, and then start slide the top.
That's what I did.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying not to get my finger that's covered in grease all over it. Because every time I wipe my finger off, I had to touch it to oh. Yeah, this back one is not going in at all. Let's get it in. You make it look easy. Now we need to compress the piston on the brake caliper. This is a standard like pression piston and not like a twist one. We don't have our normal C-clamp. It is actually at a buddy's house for another project. So we are using one of our pulley pullers to actually compress. And you just do it very slowly. You do not want to do this fast. Resist the urge. We're using the old brake pad as the compression tool. You can use a board or something flat and hard if you would like to. It's just easier to use the old brake pad most times. And David brought a point up earlier, when doing a brake change, it's easier to just do one side at a time. Yes, you can raise the vehicle up in the center, but
disclaimer to that, you can only lift the car up in the center if it is all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive with the rear diff.
Sorry, if you didn't hear David's disclaimer, you can only do that if it is an all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive with a rear diff. I have it up, of course, by the rear diff right now. And as my dad used to always tell me back when I originally learned, I learned on a much older vehicle. It was an '87 Chevy Astra van, and it had metal brake lines. So if you left the caliper up there and it dropped for whatever reason and twisted and kinked the metal brake line, it would actually damage it, or you risk damaging it. And that wasn't ever easy or fun to fix. So that's always how I remember why not to do that. So if you wanted, this would be the time to take it apart, clean it up, paint your calipers and whatnot. Do check your brake line. Okay, let's just build up. You know, you're already down here, you might as well check it. you see some, wear and tear, you can fix it now. You're already here. Less likely to have issues. So the reason why you want to make sure you go slowly when you're pressing the caliper is if there's any air in the line, the piston on the caliper, if there's any air in the line, you're slowly pushing it out. If you do it too fast, you will actually throttle it to the brake reservoir, and you can risk overflowing it. Really just, there it goes. Okay. If you need to replace the calipers for whatever reason, there is a brake fluid bleeder tool up here to make sure you remove all air bubbles. You do not want air bubbles in your brake fluid. That will limit and reduce your ability to stop. If not, remove it altogether depending on the size of the bubble. And it's just this little nipple in the back on top. Not sure if y'all can see, but all I can hear is folks coming back from the Jackson dragway right now. And that's the fun thing of where we live is we get to hear that most nights, but then you can tell which nights folks are able to go to the drag strip and run. You can hear them well into about 11, 12 at night. Okay, time to put back on the wheel. For y'all that don't know, I've had multiple brain surgeries, so sometimes I will have done something 100 times previously. If I don't do it frequently, I will forget how I've done it in the past. So that's why you saw me struggling with the wheel. It's fine. It's just been a minute. It's not a bad thing. It's just a weird thing. That's all. Where did it go? There it is.
If you can, put the socket, or put the thing in the socket.
Okay.
A little easier way than try to use your fingers. Especially with deep sockets.
Okay, so what David said, if you couldn't hear him, is with these deep sockets, instead of using my fingers, use the sockets. There again, like I said, if it's not something I do regularly, the last time I played with the wheels, it's been 4 months, so sometimes, like I said, I forget things I know. And of course you do the star pattern. Please do the star pattern. It helps just kind of hold the wheel center. And keeps it from wobbling. Are you going to use the impact wrench, David?
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable with that, so I'm going to let you do that.
All you gotta do is put it forward and just slowly run it down.
I don't feel comfortable with that. Yes, a woman handled it. What?
Nothing at all.
I know that look and I know that sassy voice.
I'm
What?
just a cameraman. Keep going.
Just like the other side. Minimal brake pad.
You're not even in the picture. I got it zoomed in at the thing.
Minimum brake pad. Just like the other side. On the bottom of the clips, so closest to the hub. Both sides just lift. I'm not sure if we caught it on the other side, but I will not be at this time painting my calipers just because we are still trying to figure out what is causing that alignment. We are just hoping it is an alignment issue. Sorry, I forgot a word there. We are hoping it was just a bad alignment. It was, it went bad in 4 months, but before I paint calipers and have to trace it, if it isn't just a bad alignment, I want to make sure I can get down here and work and not have to worry about scuffing up anything potentially. Just some snug areas from corrosion buildup. That's supposed to go on the other side, isn't it?
What does that one look like?
Well, this one was on the other side.
What does the brake pad look like?
Neither of these have it like I did on the other side.
Not sure it'll matter.
I know.
As far as which side it's on. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to go on the back side, so.
All it is a filler.
Yep. I always put them on the driver's side. I don't know that there's a right or wrong. If there is, someone let us know. Sorsha, what are you doing in here?
I just found my purple moon thing.
You do realize we're making a movie, right? Thank you, sweetheart.
I'm gonna go pick some nuts.
So if you didn't hear our discussion, we're talking about this filler gauge right here. The last one was on the other side, and I didn't catch, when I did a quick look at the brakes earlier, I did not catch there was one. I know that some brands and manufacturers don't always have these, so I just assumed that this one didn't, and it did. So, you know, whoops. And Dave and I were debating if it really matters. Growing up, when my dad did it, he always made sure it was on the driver's side. So if it does matter what side, if someone knows, please give us a shout out. We need to know. I think right now we're both in unison that we're not sure it really matters. Get that side in.
Do the top on that one first. And then the bottom will slide in.
I gotta see it. No, it's not sliding in. It's acting like it can't even go in. It's hanging down by like an inch. Okay, so the clip was not sitting on all the way in the back. David had to beat it in for me. Make sure you push in brake pads. Not sure I showed y'all that very well last time. Not sure if we showed you, but we took our pulley puller that fit best and we reversed a socket to act as a C-clamp, since our C-clamps are at a buddy's house right now. And just like previously, the rear brake pad, you can see where the piston was beating into. It just shows just, you know, how thin it was and how much pressure it was taking to stop. And like last time, just slowly twist. Resist the urge to do this fast. Trust me, you go fast because you're running behind, you're going to be running behind even more. Sorry, I'm just getting comfortable.
Hi, Mom. I don't find in here.
Okay. What?
They've never done it. They're very simple. I think she did the front 30 times, but if you did the front, she's never done it.
Okay, so I got the torque wrench set to 80 foot-pounds of torque. Just a side reminder before I get going, when you are done, please always zero it out. It is a precision tool. If you do not zero it out, you cannot guarantee that you're actually applying the correct torque amount. Hey, so we finished up the brake change, and then we, of course, pumped the brakes before we drove it to make sure that there was no air in the line and that the brakes would fully engage now that we had new brakes on. Plus, we did check the brake fluid levels to make sure there again no air in the line or anything like that. Also, if you've noticed any like long pauses or where I didn't talk for long periods of time, I'm sorry. This is my first time doing a DIY, and it's just kind of one of those things where I just do it, keep moving. If you want to, please like, follow, and subscribe to this channel. If you can find David on Instagram at Spunky Sheep Motorsports. You can find me on Instagram at The Spunky Sheep, and you can find me on Instagram at The Spunky Sheep. Also, you can find me on the web at www.thespunkysheep.com. And if you are into yarn and spinning fibers, so knitting, crocheting, spinning, felting, weaving, you can find me in Asheville, North Carolina from the 22nd through the 24th, or was it 21st? Anyways, some of those days here in October at the Western North Carolina Ag Center at SAF, or Southeastern Animal Fiber Fest. See you later. Bye.